right brake released and pushback fluid check.
Line up runway 34, Jetstar 25. Jetstar 20 right.
I was always keen on aviation. Had my first flying lesson on my 18th birthday down at Moorabbin Airport. That just changed my whole life because suddenly I thought I could do this as a career and get paid for something that I love. And from that moment on, it was no going back to university. My name's Jeremy Schmidt and I was OW 1983, Wesley College. And currently I'm the Chief Pilot and Head of Flying Operations at Jetstar. As a kid, I remember going over to England once and looking at this massive aeroplane double-decker, thinking, how does it get off the runway? How does it get in the air? And even today, I still look at the big aeroplanes, the A380s, the 787s, and it does defy physics, but to get one in the air, it still does kind of amaze me. The culture that Wesley had, it's definitely very important in later life, especially in roles such as aviation, where you need to get on with people, work well in teams. Certainly the culture at Wesley promoted that, strong friendships, good relationships with teachers, and as a captain on a Boeing 787 with 335 passengers, you need to be a good leader, and to have learnt those skills early in your school life, it's really important.
Jetstar has finally picked up its first Boeing 787.
I think without a doubt the proudest moment for me was picking up a brand new 787 Dreamliner from Seattle. It was a huge project that took about 2 years to come to fruition.
The pilots are impressed with the engines, noticeably quieter than older aircraft.
I guess it's not that dissimilar to picking up a new car. It smells new. Everything's clean and virtually no hours on the clock. We do take it for a number of test flights just to make sure it functions according to what they say it will. No one had actually taken delivery of a 787, so you knew that you were the first pilots to be flying this aeroplane. It's quite unique, as in you put the thrust up for takeoff and it's not very noisy, it's very quiet. It's quite a responsible role being an airline captain, especially on the descent and the approach. There's, adrenaline and you're concentrating very hard, and that responsibility is always there. Once you land, shut down the engines, you walk through the terminal and get into your car and head home. It's certainly then that you start relaxing. I see a lot of students over the years who've come out of Wesley, they're quite confident and they'll look you in the eye. They seem a little bit mature above their years quite often, and I think that's fantastic because it comes from the culture of the school. If they're not sure, they'll ask why, or they'll always try and have a better understanding, and I think that's really important. Driving back into St Kilda Road, you always think back. I guess thoughts always go back, and one thing I did do when I left Wesley in '83 was I worked as a groundsman for about 4 months. This is actually my office at the time, and one of the roles was to get on the tractor and drive around and cut the lawn. It's kind of funny, I come back and not only am I thinking of my different classrooms that I remember and parts of the school, but I'm also looking at the gardens and the front turf to see if it's cut right. In fact, Graham's still here, who I worked for many years ago. Sapere Aude, the school motto, dare to be wise. I have taken it right through from leaving school and facing challenges throughout, whether I was learning to fly or the ups and downs of aviation, which is a very cyclic industry. I've always carried that thought in the back of my mind as I go through my career.
Runway 34, cleared for takeoff.